Thank you, Mr. President. Unfortunately, today we didn't hear anything new from some of our colleagues who continue without any discomfort to claim that Russia is guilty and demanding that it shed light on the incident. We would also like to see the truth emerge, and we hope that the further we go, the more truth will find its way toward light. I would like to thank my Dutch colleague for his insistent proposal to cooperate with the British side. But I will refrain from that probably because the substance of this proposal for cooperation is not exactly how we understand the notion of cooperation. In substance, we are being called upon to answer one question, and that is to recognize that we did it. Our answer is we haven't done that. We didn't do it. We're not guilty. We're being told that's not enough. How did you do it? We're said, give us some proof, provide some evidence. We're told, no, but admit anyway. It'll be better that way. I mean, doesn't anyone understand that this is all really the theater of the absurd? And the fact that the United Kingdom did not follow the procedures of the Chemical Weapons Convention we have stated more than once, and you can read that in our conceptual note that we have circulated. But today I would like to note that the ambassador of the United Kingdom stated her readiness to provide member states with information on the course of the investigation. We will await that with we look forward to that, and we expect that the information provided to us will be based on materials that are more convincing than those that I demonstrated in my statement. And by the way, we found the explanation of the permanent representative of the United Kingdom on the legal reasons for the use of highly likely as an instrument of British justice, or in the context of the British justice system, as quite curious. So we will take that into account. In conclusion, Mr. President, there's really nothing new under the sun. Great Britain used to have a wonderful children's author, but also a mathematician, and also a writer at the same time, who wrote a wonderful book called Alice in Wonderland. You have a copy here. I wanted to read to you a small extract from that book. We're talking about a court under a trial of Walt. It's very brief. The White Rabbit jumped up in a great hurry. With your permission, Your Majesty, there is more evidence here. We've just found one document. This paper has just been picked up. Maybe I can read it in English if you wish.
To come yet, please, Your Majesty, said the White Rabbit, jumping up in a great hurry. This paper has just been picked up. What's in it? Said the Queen. I haven't opened it yet, said the White Rabbit, but it seems to be a letter written by the prisoner to somebody. It must have been that, said the King, unless it was written to nobody, which isn't usual, you know. Who is it directed to? Said one of the jurymen. It isn't directed at all, said the White Rabbit. In fact, there is nothing written on the outside. Are they in the prisoner's handwriting? Asked another of the jurymen. No, they are not, said the White Rabbit. And that's the queerest thing about it. The jury all looked puzzled. He must have imitated somebody else's hand, said the King. The jury all brightened up again. Please, Your Majesty, said the knave, I didn't write it, and they can't prove I did. There is no name signed at the end. If you didn't sign it, said the King, that only makes the matter worse. You must have meant some mischief, or else you'd have signed your name like an honest man. There was a general clapping of hands at this. It was the first really clever thing the king had said that day. That's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet, said the king, rubbing his hands. Let the jury consider the verdict, the king said, for about the 20th time that day. No, no, said the queen. Sentence first, verdict afterwards. Вам это ничего не напоминает, господин?
Does that remind you of anything, Mr. President? But if you think that this only applies to fairy tales from the previous centuries, by the way, very, very relevant fairy tales. But I'll show you something else. It's an article from today's Independence called "Whether We Can Prove Moscow's Involvement in the Skripal Case or Not is Irrelevant."
Одна краткая цитата.
Just this is one brief quote from that.
Response to all of this is to say prove it, as if in a court of law. Even on a legal test such as being beyond reasonable doubt, or on the balance of probabilities, the Russians are plainly culpable. Mr. President, I rest my case.
Doy las gracias.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement. The representative of the United Kingdom has requested the floor to make a further statement. United Kingdom, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I won't detain colleagues for very long. There's another very good quote from Alice in Wonderland that is, sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. So I think that's the quote that suits my Russian colleague best. I just wanted to say that, of course, we are committed to keeping the Council updated. We will share with the Council, at the Council's request, as much information as we can, as and when we have it, and in accordance with developments. Thank you very much.